What's up guys, ChasingLamely here and welcome back to the city of Lameville. I think we're at episode 11 off the top of my head, but I might be wrong because I keep forgetting how numbers work and days during this lockdown. We're having a little look over the city of Lameville just to see what we've constructed so far before we go into the business of today's episode. In fact, let's do that now because why the devil not? So, for today's episode we're going to do a bit of a I'm going to pause that because we're heading for a milestone. We're going to tick over a milestone like 137 people. 133. Some people. 143. Math in my head. Then we'll tick over to Metropolis and we'll get access to the airports, which is going to be really important. But if people are going to come in to the airports, they're going to need something to do. So I've chosen this little area here because it seems like a sort of perfect location right in the middle of the city, and it's pretty much dead middle of city, or will be by the time we're done building. So I thought what we'd do is we'll take advantage of this commercial need here, and we'll build sort of a bit of a sort of entertainment complex, I guess. And to do that, I'm going to use the highway with sound barrier because, let's face it, nobody likes noise pollution. Yeah, it's gonna seem counterintuitive. You have to kind of stick with me a little bit on this one, but the plan is to use the highway roads and build kind of a roundabout inside. We're going to use the magic of I'm going to English in my head by English properly soon. We're going to use the magic of frontage roads. That's what I'm trying to say. To give ourselves as much space as possible here to build ourselves something special to make this work. The roundabout is deliberately running counter to the roads around it. You'll notice it's deliberately running opposite these roads here. That is a choice I've made on purpose. I don't want them to think there's anything accidental about that. That is a choice I have made. Are we auto saving? Why isn't that? Oh, because it's gone underground. Yeah, I don't want them to think there's any kind of happenstance with this decision I've made here. The reason I've done it is because I want people to come off of the highway using the frontage roads principle of just coming off on a slip road onto here, and if they go round the opposite way, they're not using it as a cut through between interchanges, which is kind of the ideal. I'm not too worried about this road being super neat. I just need to look passable. That's always the goal. Yes, that's going to be kind of the plan here. So this will connect up using these roads here. We're going to try not to do too much in the way of putting junctions too close together. Hopefully that will be fine. We'll just take a quick look, make sure we put a node in there, because if we do not put a node in there, we're going to cause ourselves all kinds of pain, because people won't be able to switch lanes coming out of here to make that work for them. Yeah, so the frontage roads are kind of the issue we're going with. Let's just put that in there. And again, if we can get that to work. Yeah, we're just going to use the frontage roads to give ourselves a way in and a way out without creating additional traffic headaches, is basically the plan. And then we're going to build out from there. So if we get that to connect in there, that would be great. It doesn't have to be super neat and tidy. I know there's some people who are probably freaking out about how untidy that looks. Trust me, it's not going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things to how this is going to work for us. It's just about making sure that this all works as a system. So essentially we've created one giant roundabout, and we will eventually set that up as a roundabout. But until then, we need to work out what we're going to do with it. So my plan here was, I want to put the stadiums in here. I say I want to put the stadiums in. The AFL stadium is not going in there because that's enormous. But we're going to try and put some other stuff in there. So we're going to put use the 2-lane one-way road, and hopefully that will connect up to about there. Hopefully, if I've done this correctly, that will connect up to there, and we should, if I ever remember how to select a road properly, should be able to go straight across there. Now, that's deliberately running down across there rather than being a two-way road, because I don't want people to use that as a shortcut. It's kind of a deliberate ploy to make sure we don't use that as a shortcut, and I've definitely put that road too close to where I need it to, the edge, because I want this to go onto the edge of the road. So we'll redo that. That's not a drama. I say it's not a drama. You watch me screw this up now. Let's go from there to there. We can make things work. Otherwise, let's go directly across there. Why not? I know there are people having conniptions right now about how untidy that is. It's fine. It's fine. Don't panic. And yeah, I was going to put the AFL stadium in there, but that's not a big issue if we don't. I want to make this kind of a leisurely district. So let's see what other special buildings we have that have a slightly leisurely theme to them. We have a that's probably not a thing. We need to use a semiconductor plant. Are we saving? What's going on? A robotics institute. We're looking for things with kind of a high tourism value. A research centre, I guess, has high tourism value, but not necessarily what we're looking for. There should be somewhere in here. I don't know why this is going so slowly right now. There should be an expo centre somewhere in here. I'm sure I've seen an expo centre. Lots of buildings. I've added a bunch of assets to make this work. In fact, I'm in the content creator pack. I'm probably not going to find what I'm looking for there. What have we got here? A festival arena. That could go in there, I suppose. If we put and that should make the fan zone park work, which hopefully will slot in there. We'll have a festival. We'll have the fan zone park and the festival arena next to the stadium, because why not? That makes sense to me. And then I'm going to try and find if I can locate it, if I can find it in this this massive stuff. Transport tower. One of these tiers has an expo centre. I know it's there. I've seen it. It's just going to give us a there. Opera house. An opera house could be a useful building. Let's put a road in to make that work. Let's put the road directly behind here. Why not? I will spread that one out a little bit. Straight down there is possible, please. There we go. Yeah, we'll put the opera building in here somewhere. That will go about there. And again, just one-way roads going down is just to make that all kind of work in a more sensible, logical way. But I need to find this expo stand. There we go. It's not even an enormous building, so it can go next to the opera house. That will help us immensely. Yeah, it's just trying to create something here that people might want to go and visit, because that's going to be quite useful. So observation tower, I guess if this is going to be the middle of the city, if I can get that to go on here, that will go there nicely. Look, I know it looks a bit like I'm just dumping random objects, and to be honest, I sometimes am. But we're trying to create something of kind of tourist interest, because once we have that thing of tourist interest, we will then, of course, have the ability, have a reason for people to use our airport. So it's just kind of a preparing. We've got some stadia here that we could use if we wanted to. Medium football. I mean, there's no point in putting those next to a football stadium. Theatre of Wonders. Yeah, if I put another road just down here, which hopefully won't cause too big, and that hopefully, if I've left enough room. And of course I have not left enough room because I'm an idiot. Let's try that again, a little bit closer to where we want it to, a little bit closer to this corner. Why not? Straight down here. It doesn't really matter. That's going to go across. Again, you guys know by now I don't do tidy builds. I wish I could do tidy builds. I'm just not that good. You should have been aware of that up front. I'm just not that good. Statue of Colossus apparently makes tourists stay. I don't really have a place to put that, but that's fine. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to zone this. That's going to be the first part of what we do. So if I take a little zoning brush, I think, well, that should just about do it. Let's just zone using that just over the top here. And again, because I've used the one-way roads, it's kind of, we'll spread things out a little bit. So let's go into this, and it's going to be a leisure specialist area. So we'll use that as a leisure specialist area. I have got, because as some of you know, I can't use car parks. I cannot for the life of me make a car park work, and I don't know why I can't make a car park work on this game. I'm sure there's a really good reason, but I can't make parking work. But what I can make work is a park with parking. So that's the thing I can kind of throw in here as well. And what I'll do is I will put a regular two-way road in up the side of the football stadium. ideally there. That should go up there quite nicely and not connect on, because that way people can come and turn around. It is a system of logic that I'm making use of. I don't want anyone to get any weird ideas that there's not a system of logic behind this. And then hopefully what I can do is I can put a few of these in here to use as parking spaces for everything around, which would be quite nice for us to have. And then the rest of it I'm going to fill up with high density commercial, because we want to get as many things in there as we can, because obviously we have that need for commercial stuff. And hopefully this won't cause too many issues. I'm going to make sure that the roundabout is properly set up using Traffic Manager as well before we unleash this ridiculous creation on the world, because it's going to be quite important to make sure that goes. So we're going to use the add priority signs, which obviously if we shift click it will quick set up the priority road roundabout. So hopefully by doing that, that should give me what I need. It looks like it's giving me what I need. Everything coming on has the giveaway signs, everything coming off, yep, working perfectly. Obviously I could do the famous lane mathematics, and I probably should do actually, because, you know, let's show you how to vanilla stuff, because I don't show people how to vanilla stuff nearly enough. So if we use the upgrade tool, now obviously I can let this go. That should go down to 1 lane as per lane mathematics rules. However, that's not going to be terribly helpful, so we're not going to do it. Let's just use it for slip roads. Let's just use that for slip roads. Otherwise, things are going to get very, very complex, because I'll have to work out what's come back on, and this would end up going up to about 19 lanes, and you know, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. So we'll drop those down to 2 lanes, and then that should go back up. Yeah, it works out nicely. So we'll go back into Traffic Manager and just make sure we've got all of our junction restrictions on. Now hopefully I shouldn't need to do this, but we don't really want anything coming into the block junction coming off the roundabout if we can avoid it, because I'm guessing on things like match days this is going to get quite busy, which we don't want to happen. So we'll try and avoid letting that happen by doing this early, getting our licks in early for this one. That one as well. I think I've got them all coming on right, and then we're going to go round and we're going to also sort out, using the control click, all of our lane arrows, because we want people to be able to come off and on easily, save ourselves some heartbreak and some heartache, and make it all work out nicely. Obviously there's going to be issues with things coming on as well, so we're going to use the lane connector tool, and Control S just lets it all merge out quite nicely. Just little things to keep the traffic moving as best we can, because that's going to make life much, much easier. That should work perfectly. That, I'm guessing, is, did I use a 2-way? I used a 2-lane road for that one, didn't I? No, I didn't. I was panicking. This one as well, just to make sure anything coming on merges into that. In fact, because I can now I've thought this through, because apparently I don't think things through before I do it. I can actually turn that back on, because they will automatically just merge in with what is going on with the traffic, because I should have them going into the right lane. See what happens when you talk about stuff whilst you do it? You lose all sense of common sense and logic and thinking and whatnot. That one I just did right, so that should have all the access on, and likewise as well, actually feeding out, we need to make sure that feeds in, so we'll do that as well. In fact, we can lane maths here too, because that one should go down to 2 lanes between these two, which should give a dedicated turning lane, should give a nice, that should have retained the feeding in, I hope. Make sure that retains the feeding in. We'll go back out as well, and we'll make sure we've got these ones, because if we can save ourselves any heartache at all coming down between junctions, that's ideal. But we'll do this one, because I should have done this one when I installed it, because that will definitely cause problems down the line. I've just spent ages sorting out traffic before I started recording, because I'd missed something and my traffic had gone down to like 14%, which is not what you want when you are a YouTuber and you're trying to be like, hey guys, this is how I do this stuff, because people will look at it and just go, clearly you are a moron. And admittedly, clearly I am a moron, but still, I try not to show you guys I'm a moron if I can avoid it. I feel like it makes things slightly better if we don't see that effect. While I'm thinking about doing lane maths, I haven't done this one either. It's going to make me wonder where and when I haven't done lane maths on my junctions, but that should sort it out for now. I can always tidy it up down the line when it comes down to it. I think I just kind of built all this in quite a haste at the start of the series, and didn't really give it thoughts about how I would fix it up. It's savings, that's not going to let me do the upgrades. Hopefully it won't do the upgrade there, because that will be a problem. We'll try and keep our problems to a minimum here, as best we can. Right, so that is going to be our little leisure area. In fact, I don't think I managed to fill all that in. Let's fill that in, because the more we can get in there, the faster this will drop. So let's let that go. Let's watch that build. Let's see what happens together. As I said, hopefully this will all work out quite nicely. I'm hoping that the events in these buildings don't all take place at once, because that will be a problem. I also need to try and, in fact, now I've just had a thinking while I was waiting for stuff to happen. It's probably a good idea if I put some public transport in to get here, because you know, people like being able to get places. Where can I get public transport in here? Anywhere? Anywhere will do. Any dream will do. There. Right, that's a good location for it. Let's put that in there. Let's drop back down below there, and I just want to kind of connect it up to the two nearest metro stations if I can. So let's connect up into there, because everyone should be able to move around from where they're at to get here. And I think I have a metro line here somewhere. I could have sworn I had a metro line attached to here, but I apparently don't. Well, since we're doing it anyway, it will let me put in a metro line anywhere near this housing area. We'll do that. Apparently it won't. Apparently these people do not demand a metro. They do not want it. They have no interest in my metro foolishness. Literally nowhere. Literally nowhere. That slope is too steep. Okay, that's fine. Then you don't get a metro, and it is your loss. We'll connect it up to, I guess in here. I'm aware that is the ugliest looking metro line in the world, but also, does it matter? Probably not. Let's create a new line from there to there, to this station here, and back, and hope that doesn't clog up. It shouldn't do. It's only a 3-stop line. It's probably only going to have one train on it, but that should get people into this area. And actually, whilst I'm above ground, I'm going to put some pathways in. I don't think I've done many pathways while we've been doing the whole channel-y thing, but it feels like we should. So let's see if we can connect anything up here just to make this work out. That's going right through there. That's not terribly helpful, although apparently some of this is connected up, so that will help us out. Let's make that work. Let's make that work. Just little things to help people get about, because obviously you can't walk around here, and although there is parking, it would be ideal for us not to have to use the parking if we can avoid it. So we'll just make a little path down the side road there. Maybe we can squeeze a little path down the side of here too if we're lucky. We can. I've not put any water in, but you know what I always say, something, everyone needs water, and every time I forget that everyone needs water. Let's put some pipe work in there so people don't get disappointed by what we're doing. We are about to tick over. Let's just give that a pause, because I don't want to be in the middle of doing this when it ticks over. We're about to tick over to the next milestone, which is going to be quite the occasion, because then I can open the airport, and when I open the airport, that will end the episode, I imagine. So we'll put that across there, we'll put that across there, They should have all the power they need, back above ground. Everyone is happy, and you can see people on the roads already, people coming in to visit. They have options, they should be parking around for them. And yeah, we should have, like I said, we've done this deliberately clockwise as opposed to anti-clockwise like the roads that go around it. Just because I don't want people to try and cut through from here to here. It doesn't make sense for them to do that. I mean, actually that probably does. No, I've thought about it, but you know, no one can cut through from here to say here and find themselves saving time, clogging up roads unnecessarily. I still haven't connected up those. Everyone here spotted that, right? Everyone spotted that. I know you spotted it and didn't say anything. I didn't connect that water pipe up to any actual water supply. I was just testing you. That was all that was happening. Don't try and act like you knew, because you didn't say anything, and you should have done. It was your job. Also, actually, while I'm public transporting, as I'm thinking about it, whilst I do it, let's throw some taxi ranks in there as well, because having the ability to get a taxi in might prove useful too. And it might not prove useful. It's equally possible it might not prove useful, but what that will at least do is give people the option of having another way of getting there. In fact, what I might do is, I've got this side road here where people can walk in, so let's put a bus route going just literally from the side of the stadium to our bus station, if I can find the bus station, because that just jumped and I've lost everything. The city's so big when it's like this. There, to the bus hub there. Why is it so jumpy today? Right, in fact, now I've thought about it, let's put it onto, I think the black line is the one that doesn't have many people on it. So if I go from there to, and then to the train station up here, which I know has a side road, but that side road's quite busy. Put it there. And hopefully we'll bring that all the way back to, bring it into the stadium area here. We'll make it like a stadium loop. Hopefully that shouldn't cause too many problems if I put it there. And back into the line here. And that hopefully just should give us ways of people getting around, reducing traffic, reducing the need for people to drive their cars. We've got a festival area now as well, so we can see maybe some good bands. This, by the way, if you haven't used this before, this is the Fan Zone Park, which is for people who want to see the festival. Who is our next concert? Nestor is the next one. Apparently, I don't know who Nestor is. I don't know any of these people are, if I'm quite honest, but we'll see how it works. And we've just hit Metropolis, which means we can finish off the episode with an airport inauguration. We are going to need to put some more people in the near future, so that will be the next episode for sure. But for now, we do have an airport. We're going to use the... do I have a hubby airport? I must have a hubby airport somewhere. Do I not get the airport hub thing yet? The International Airport Hub, Metropolitan. I don't get an airporty hub yet, so we'll just use this airport. It's absolutely fine. I don't know what, I'm still below ground. Will that bring me back up above ground, or I need to take that view off, don't I? I'm going to put it over in this industrial area, and the reason I'm doing that is because this area obviously is going to be quite noisy regardless, as you would expect, so that's going to be an issue. I'm going to use the again, I think the two-way one-way road that I've been using for this one. We're just going to put it alongside here maybe. Let's put it across that way, that makes more sense. I'm going to attach the airport to this road. I know people are going to say, why you've got that road there, why not use that? Keeping things separate, splitting up traffic is the answer. Why is that? Of course the slope is too steep. I get frustrated with this sometimes. Slope too steep, slope too steep. It's going to work out perfectly alongside one of these roads, isn't it? You watch, it will work out perfectly. Slope too steep is not the answer I want. Okay, let's rethink this very quickly. Rethink this quickly. Is that too steep up here? Is there room up here? Not quite. Not quite room for the runway there. How about here? Too steep. I really want it in this industrial area, as you can probably tell, just to keep things a little bit separate. How about... Oh, why is that jump? It's so jumpy today. In there, maybe. Maybe in there. Maybe there's a ticket there. Right. Let's put a road in there, and I'll go back and I'll delete the other road in just a moment, because now I know what I want to do. I have a plan. I have a plan, and it's going to be glorious. Just you watch. This is supposed to be our forestry area, you'll remember, but apparently now it's getting an airport, because why wouldn't you want an airport to go in there? Of course that makes sense. Right, let's construct that there. And like I said, people are probably wondering, why would you put a one-way road there? And the simple reason is because in this industrial area, as you will recall, I have let's go with this one. I have this sort of roundabout going around it, the highway ring road, and giving myself the ability to get people in and out of here easily is actually quite beneficial. So if we connect that up to here, and hopefully that will rejoin up here. Anywhere here is good. Yeah, I just want to be able to get people into and out of the sort of ring road area as quickly as I possibly can. So that is what I'm thinking. Slope too steep. Why is that slope too steep? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense, Captain. There we go. We get rid of that. I might have to go from further back than this. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Go from further back? Okay, we're going to go the other way around then. Let's go the other way around. Make that work instead. I'm not afraid to experiment with random things. Right, let's go from there to there. Somehow, some way. Space already occupied. Well, obviously you can remove parts of the highway. It's a slip road, bud. That's not an issue for me if you'd like to remove parts of the highway. Okay, let's replan, because apparently this is too difficult for us. Let's go underground. Underground is now the plan, and we'll hope this works out for us instead. Let's go under there, back to there. Perfect. Right, and then if we can go from, say, here to down here, here to down here, make it a bit jankier. Nope, too steep. Why is it too steep, guys? Why is it too steep? Why don't you like me anymore? There used to be a way to do this. It's okay. You guys have seen me get frustrated over stuff like this before, I'm fairly certain. Because I don't ever feel like I fully understand why this doesn't like me. But we'll make it happen somehow. Somehow I'm going to make it happen. I'm probably missing something blindingly obvious here. But we'll get there. We'll get there together in real time. I'm missing something blindingly obvious. Of course I am. Because obviously it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the roundabout comes into, or where the road comes into, or comes out of the highway from, because I can just make it do that. That's going to obviously cause some problems, but we can always as well use the Move It mod, and we can take. Let's see, we can take this road and this road. You're going to let me select both of those? You are. And this road, we'll just go up as far as we can. We'll drop those down. Is that going to work for me? Come on. Apparently not. Apparently dropping down roads is not a thing we do anymore. Unless, of course, the eternally ungrateful computer is about to give up on me, which is also a possibility, at which point that could be fun. Come on, just sink it into the ground for me. We've done this before. Okay, answers on a postcard as to why that's not working. Let's just leave it. That works for now. That works for now is going to be the motto, I think, today. That works for now. Because, as per always, when I want something to work, it will refuse to work. Why are you not sinking that? Oh, come on, away. Sink down a pipe. That's what we're planning to do. We'll sink a pipe under there, which hopefully should cover that, and we'll just very quickly connect that up. And now we have a fully connected, fully working, hopefully fully functional airport that isn't going to interfere with any of the stuff going on around it. I'm guessing that's working. It's taking care of a lot of our commercial needs. Why is that not? Do I need to connect the runway up as well? Is this a thing that I don't fully understand? Let's connect the runway up as well. It can only help if we do that. And eventually we will have a full water supply for those buildings and a working airport, and that's pretty much a good place to leave the episode, which, if I had to guess, is probably a solid 30 minutes long by now. Let's have a look. A quick shufty before we go of this area. That looks like a lot of traffic. I may have built a traffic problem. Right, guys. I'm going to go and fix the traffic problem off camera, because otherwise we will be here forever. But until next time, thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe please, just so I know you are here. I've been Chasing Lamely, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.